Hey there, YouTubers. It's Chris from Gravy. Just wanted to talk to you today about Google Shopping and Google Ads. Um, Google has a program they call Smart Shopping, and I wanted just to go into the details about that and just give you a few words of warning in terms of what you're getting into if you go with Google Smart Shopping. So, excuse me, if you look on your dashboard, often you'll get these recommendations in the Google Ads area. And one of them is switch to smart shopping campaigns. I would caution you on doing this, and I'm going to get into this in more detail, but this is not for everybody. And if you're an absolute beginner and you don't know how to set up Google Ads, you might want to try this with a small budget to get started. However, all the pros I know, and I do consider myself a pro because I've spent $1 million with Google Ads over the last 10 years, like literally over $1 million. I do not like it, and I'll tell you why. But it really comes down to a return on investment versus a return on ad spend debate. Now, with Google Shopping right now, I'm paying on a cost per click basis. I know my return on investment, and I know from looking at return on investments that, and I'll go into this, your calculation is based on a net profit. However, with Google Shopping or Google Smart Shopping using their AI or artificial intelligence, they don't take your profit into account. You actually spend based on a revenue basis, not based on a profit basis. And so they do what's called a return on ad spend approach versus a return on investment. So I know, excuse me, with my cost per click bid maximums that I set for my campaigns, I know exactly that it'll take me, I will spend $200 on each sale on average, where my sale price is roughly $1,500 to $1,700 revenue. I know also my other costs and hosting, Shopify fees, and so on. So especially if you're a Shopify marketer, you really gotta know your ROI, and their Google Smart campaigns doesn't really do that for you. And so I'll just show you what their sales pitch is here. So they tell you that Google Smart Shopping campaigns can simplify your campaigns, and they can. You don't have to worry nearly as much about setting a bid, a cost per click. You just simply come up with a return on ad spend, which is basically the amount of money you want to spend based on the ad cost. So here's an example here, if you wanted a 200% return on ad spend, you would get $500 revenue from spending $250 on ads. Now, I would like, $1,000 return on ad spend. It doesn't tell me anything. And my argument against against ROAS, apologize for my cold, is that it doesn't take into account profitability. If I know that I've got a certain profit margin and I know my cost per click, I can say, okay, I need, for every 100 clicks at 50 cents a click, I spent $50, and my profit is 300. So I can calculate based on my profit and based on my cost what my ROI, or my return on investment, is. So ROI is net profit divided by your net spend, or your ad spend, and it's usually looked at as a percentage. Sometimes ROAS, return on ad spend, is thought of as a dollar amount. So it's the number of dollars of revenue you generate per dollar of ad cost. So if it was like $5 ROAS, that's, you generate $5 in revenue for every $1 of ad spend. So that's another way of looking at it, but Google looks at it as a percentage. And when I had my Google account advisor, he took me through, actually I had both, a couple of them, took me through all the ways that I could spend my money. And frankly, the reason that they want me to go to ROAS is they get evaluated, the Google ad specialists get evaluated based on ad revenue that they bring in. So they're incentivized to get you to spend more money. They never once mention, what are your costs, what are your profits? They are focused on top line ad dollars into Google. And that really frustrated me. And I went through a few ad reps and I escalated that issue and complained about that. And there was no answer other than, well, okay, maybe you should go back to cost per click. And they know that that's based on an ROI and it's not based on getting them top dollar ad revenue. So what's the difference in going to ROAS or smart shopping? Again, they love to tout their artificial intelligence. Well, we've all got some intelligence of our own, and my intelligence tells me that this isn't a good spend, and I'll tell you why. Pros, easy to set up. It is easy for beginners, but this is almost taking advantage of the naive, the new people to advertising. Don't know what they're doing yet, and don't know, maybe don't even know their ROI calculation yet. So it's easy to set up. There's lots of different dynamic ad units. And you get to go across Google's entire network, Gmail, YouTube, partner sites, and partner search sites as well. So banner ads, you can throw everything up there easily. Banner ads, text ads, search ads, dynamic search ads where they change the title for you. Sounds great until you see your bill at the end of the month, and I certainly did after testing this for a couple of weeks. And you can spend a lot of money through their learning period, and this is another thing that I was frustrated with. There's a learning phase or an optimization phase, they call it. Well, that's costing you a lot of money, and as a result of that learning phase, there's absolutely no sense of ROI until after the month is over and you do your calculations at the end of the day after spending money on ads. So my number one caution is there's no return on investment metric for smart shopping. They don't show you, conversions. You've got to work those out on the back end after you've spent all this money across various networks, and you don't have a whole lot of reporting on it at all either. They love you to do retargeting. Well, I found retargeting ads aren't always effective for what I'm doing. Partner sites, the click-throughs on display networks are always lower. Partner display networks never to return as well as the core search, google.com, google.ca. So there's a lot of other negatives with smart shopping campaigns. Again, the learning phase costs you money, but you don't get negative keywords. You can't remove bad traffic like you can with Google Shopping on a CPC basis, and you can look at your search terms and highly recommend you take out your negative keywords. There's no device targeting, no bid adjustments. You can't fine-tune mobile versus tablets and desktop. I mean, these are key things. If you know what you're doing, there's no day of the week targeting change. I know I get huge sales on the weekends. Sunday and Monday are big sales days, and Saturday is a research day. Most of e-commerce is like that, but there's no day of the week targeting, bid adjustments. You're just leave it to Google and hope that they get some learning for that. So it's really a hard thing to optimize for, especially when you don't know what you're doing with ROI. So I really do come back to saying, you know, hold the brakes on with Google Shopping, or smart ads anyway, Google's smart shopping, and go back to, you know, looking at specifically um, what you can do with your own keywords. Look at you get your own cost per click. You should know your average CPC. You should know your cost per conversion. You can monitor these very well. You should look at your keywords. What are your search terms that you like? What search terms, and then you go through and you click the ones you don't like and add them to your negative keyword list. These are the ways to get your ROI down to a reasonable level, or sorry, your cost down and your ROI up to a level that you're happy with based on your profit. So I hope that helps clarify. Basically, caution on the smart shopping. As much as you know hear all the hype about artificial intelligence and you know, easy return on investment. Well, it's not an ROI that they're giving you. It's something different, and you got to know your metrics and you got to stay profitable. So hope that helps, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or hope to talk to you again.